What really separates a good hotel from a legendary one these days? It's not just about the fancy welcome drink or the high thread count sheets anymore. In the world of modern hospitality, the real game changer is something you can't even see. It's that engine of data humming along behind the scenes, turning bits of information into real, tangible profit. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and take a look inside that engine.
Hello everyone and welcome. My goal here is pretty simple. I want to bridge the gap between your studies and the fast-paced reality of today's hotel operations. We're going to be looking at the exact tools and strategies that are defining success in the industry right now, giving you a serious advantage as you get ready to launch your career.
So how do they do it? How did today's top hotels consistently stay ahead of the competition, keeping guests happy and the numbers looking good? Well, the secret isn't some closely guarded intuition anymore. The answer is in their ability to see what's happening right now and to act on it in an instant. So let's dive in. We're going to start at the very heart of the modern hotel, and that is the power of real-time data. Forget the old-school boiler room of the past. Think of this as a digital command center. It's the engine that gives you all the critical information you need to keep every single part of the operation running at peak performance.
Now this slide here, this really shows you the night and day difference. The old way, it was all about waiting for last month's reports, kind of relying on gut feelings, and basically just reacting to problems after they'd already happened. But today's modern systems, your property management system, the PMS, and your revenue management system, or RMS, they give us instant visibility. This lets us flip the script entirely. We can move from being reactive to being proactive, spotting trends before they even really take hold.
And that brings us to a super important point, one that you'll hear from top educators across the industry. Look, we are swimming in data these days, but just having more of it isn't the answer. The real skill, the thing that's truly going to set you apart in your career, is being able to cut through all the noise and find the insights that you can actually act on. It's all about quality and interpretation, not just sheer volume.
Okay, so you've got this great, high-quality data. Now what? How do you actually turn it into profit? Well, this is the next crucial step. This is where the data stops being just numbers on a page and becomes your strategic navigator, guiding every major decision you make, both financially and operationally.
The process is actually pretty logical, and it's incredibly powerful. First, it all kicks off with collecting that real-time data we were just talking about. Then, predictive models analyze it to figure out what's likely coming next. All this complex information gets simplified into really clear, easy-to-read dashboards. And then, the final step, you and your team can take smart, strategic action that's based on solid facts, not just guesswork.
And this is where the rubber really meets the road. We're talking about more accurate staffing forecasts, so you're never caught short or overstaffed. We're talking about dynamic pricing that can instantly adjust because, say, a huge concert was just announced down the street. It means having much tighter control over your costs and making way smarter decisions about future investments. Every single one of these directly boosts that bottom line.
So, what does this all add up to? Well, just take a look at this chart. The impact on profit margins isn't a small thing. It is significant. Adopting this data-driven approach gives you a clear and measurable edge on the competition. Honestly, this is the difference between thriving and just surviving.
But, and this is a really big but, let's be very clear. Technology by itself is not a magic wand. You can have the most advanced software in the world, but it's totally useless without the right people to use it. This is where we talk about the critical human factor. Your expertise, your team's skills, and the culture you build, that's what truly unlocks the power of all this data. For these systems to really work, a few things are absolutely essential. Your staff needs amazing training, top to bottom. You have to build a data-positive culture where backing up decisions with evidence is just how things are done. And use automation not to replace people, but to free them up from the boring, repetitive tasks, which cuts down on errors and lets them focus on the big picture and, of course, the guest experience.
And with all this new power comes some very serious responsibility. In hospitality, trust is everything. It's the ultimate currency. So sticking to ethical principles isn't just a nice idea. It is non-negotiable. That means being transparent about how you use data, fiercely protecting your guests' privacy, and making sure your analysis is always responsible. If you lose that trust, no amount of data in the world can ever win it back.
All right, so let's bring this all home and really focus on what this means for you. As you get ready to become the next generation of leaders in this industry, getting a handle on these concepts isn't just helpful, it's your core strategic advantage.
What we've discussed today isn't just another technical skill to list on your resume. It's a fundamental shift in how the most successful hospitality businesses are run. The leaders who can speak this language, the language of data, they're the ones who are going to be making the big decisions and shaping the entire future of our industry.
So as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with one final thought. All this technology and all this data, it provides you with the most detailed, most accurate map you could ever ask for. The real question for your career is how are you going to use it to captain the ship? Thank you.